Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, NCAA College Football Week 11. Whew, we had some interesting games there in week number 10. I know we got some playoff implication games here in week 11. So week 10, straight up picks, I was 22-10. Year to date gives me 214-83. Against the spread, I was 16-16. Year to date gives me the 151 and 146. Over under, I was 14-18 last in week 10. Year to date, 135 and 162. Overall, in week 10, I was at a 54% win percentage. Year to date brings me down to a 56.1. Typically, 55 to 60% is where I want to be, so I'd like to be a little higher than where I'm at, but I'm actually pretty happy with it. I know in NFL, I'm actually worse than that, and the same way with the CFL. So it's been a rough year for those two leagues for me, but hopefully we'll rebound in these 28 games here in week 11. First game, we have the 5-4 North Carolina Tar Heels versus the 25th ranked. Now these rankings are last week's playoff rankings. So the new playoff rankings come out tomorrow night. I am for week 12. I am working on my own playoff rankings, kind of a different spin on what the rankings are. So we'll see how that goes next week. I'll have that up. Probably put that up just like in picture form, and then I'll do my video as well afterwards. So 25th ranked Pittsburgh Panthers here are 7-2. In this game, Pittsburgh is favored by 5.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 75. We have the 7-2 Nevada Wolfpack versus the 24th ranked San Diego State Aztecs who are 8-1. Nevada is actually favored by 1, which I thought was a weird line for this game because the Aztecs I think are a little bit better defense, giving up 16 points a game, while the Wolfpack are scoring 36. So this could be very interesting to see what the points end up with this. But I'm giving that 1 point to San Diego State. I got them winning, covering. I am taking the over on the 46.5. I think we'll see a few points in this game. The New Mexico Lobos, who are 3-6, go up against the 23rd ranked Fresno State Bulldogs, who are 7-3. Fresno State is favored by 24. I got them winning. I got the Lobos covering the 24, and then I'm taking over on the 52. Out of the Big Ten, this is one of those matchups where a 3-loss 20th ranked Minnesota Golden Gophers against a 2-loss Iowa Hawkeyes, who are 22nd ranked. They're 7-2. But if we look at good loss versus bad loss, one of those is a good loss, one's a bad loss. So it's kind of like in between there. But I do have the Hawkeyes bouncing back here. I got them winning. The line's 5.5. I got them covering. And I'm taking over on the 37. The Northwest Wildcats, who are 3-6, versus 21st ranked Wisconsin Badgers, who are 6-3. I got the Wisconsin is favored by 24, but I got the Badgers winning. The Wildcats covering the 24, over on the 40.5 overall points. The 19th ranked NC State Wolfpack 7-2 versus the 9th ranked Wake Forest Demon Deacons, who are 8-1. Wake Forest is favored by 2.5. I got them winning, covering. The overall points in this game is 66.5. Based on last week, there was a lot of over when I was going under. This one I'm going over on the 66.5. Out of the SEC, we have the 18th ranked Kentucky Wildcats, who are 6-3, versus the 2-7 Vanderbilt Commodores. Kentucky is favored by 21. I got Vandy covering the 21 and over on the 52. The 17th ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs 5-4. 13th ranked Auburn Tigers 6-3. Auburn is favored by 5.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 50. Stay with the SEC. We got the 14th ranked Texas A&M Aggies 7-2, 16th ranked Ole Miss Rebels, who are also 7-2. The Aggies are favored by 2.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 55.5. This next game out of the Big 12, I think definitely Oklahoma Sooners need this game. They're currently ranked 8th. They're 9-0. They are going against the 12th ranked 7-2 Baylor Bears. I think a win here will help Oklahoma. They are favored by 6. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 63. But I know with the rankings that I'm working on, points matter. Point differential matter. So I think they need a big win here to really help them move up in the rankings. Next up, we have the 4 and 5 TCU Horned Frogs versus 11th ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys, who are 8 and 1. For the Big 12 title game, right now we're looking at Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State, but both teams have to win out. Both teams have to stay where they're at. Then you almost got that one loss, Oklahoma State. If they beat Oklahoma, does that catapult them high enough to get into the top 4 in the playoffs? I don't know. But right now you're looking at 8th-ranked Oklahoma and 11th-ranked Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is favored by 13.5. I got them winning. I got TCU covering the 13.5 because TCU is scoring 31 points a game, Oklahoma State's scoring 28. But TCU's given up 31, while Oklahoma's only given up 16. But it is the Big 12. They like to throw points up, so I'm going over on the 54.5. 10th ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who are 8 and 1, versus the 6 and 3 Virginia Cavaliers. Notre Dame has to win out to even have a chance in hell of making the Final Four. Notre Dame is favored by 4.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 64. The Big 10. We got the 8 and 1 Michigan Wolverines ranking 7th. 6 and 3 Penn State Nittany Lions. Penn State is favored by 1 point at home. If the Wolverines want to get to the Big 10 title game, they got to win out. I got them winning, covering a 1, and over on the 47. 6th ranked Cincinnati Bearcats, who are 9 and 0, going against the 2 and 7 South Florida Bulls. As much as I want to see a non-Power 5 conference team get to the Final Four, it's not going to. Excuse me. The committee won't let it happen. I don't know why, but they won't. In the AP, they're ranked 2nd. In the playoff committee, they're ranked 6th. They're just, again, right outside that top 4. So I think if they go undefeated, they almost need to be, but the committee won't do it. They are scoring 38 points a game, only giving up 14. They are favored by 23.5 against South Florida. I got the Bearcats winning, covering the 23.5, and under on the 58.5. Next up, we have the 5th ranked Ohio State Buckeyes, 8 and 1, hosting the 6 and 3 Purdue Boilermakers. What's up for Purdue? They are an upset team. But going into Ohio State, I don't think they're going to upset them. Ohio State is favored by 20. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 61. Washington State Cougars 5 and 4 versus the 4th ranked Oregon Ducks, who are 8 and 1. The Ducks are favored by 14 at home. I got Washington State covering, Ducks winning, over on the 56.5. The 5 and 4 Maryland Terrapins versus the 3rd ranked Michigan State Spartans, who are 8 and 1. Michigan State is favored by 13. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 62.5. The 1 and 8 New Mexico Aggies going up against the number 2 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide, who are 8 and 1. Alabama is favored by 51. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 66.5. I think Alabama, Georgia, they could go up against like the Jets or the Giants in the NFL and have a chance. As bad as that sounds. The number 1 ranked 9 and 0 Georgia Bulldogs going to Tennessee against the Tennessee Volunteers, who are 5 and 4. Georgia is favored by 20.5. I got them winning. I got Tennessee covering the 20.5 and under on the 55. You know what? No, Tennessee's not covering the 20.5. I got Georgia covering the 20.5. I'm still taking under on the 55. This game will be like 40-3 or something stupid. Then I got next up the UCF Knights 6 and 3 versus the SMU Mustangs, who are 7 and 2. The Mustangs are favored by 7.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 59. The 1 and 8 Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles versus the 9 and 0 University of Texas San Antonio Roadrunners. Roadrunners are favored by 32.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 54.5. The 7 and 2 Utah State Aggies versus the 5 and 5 San Jose State Spartans. Spartans are favored by 4 at home. I'm giving that 4 to Utah. Utah State +4, winning, covering, and over on the 56. The 4 and 5 Georgia State Panthers versus Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, 8 and 1. The Chanticleers are favored by 10. I get them winning, covering an over on the 52.5. The 8-1 Louisiana Raging Cajuns versus the 5-4 Troy Trojans. Louisiana favored by 6. I got them winning, covering an over on the 48. The 6-3 Arkansas Razorbacks versus the 4-5 LSU Tigers. Razorbacks favored by 2, winning, covering an under on the 59. The 6-3 Utah Utes versus the 1-8 Arizona Wildcats. The Utes favored by 24. Wildcats cover. The Utah wins, over on the 54. 6-3 Iowa State Cyclones versus the 5-4 Texas Red Raiders. Iowa State is favored by 10.5. I got the Cyclones winning, the Red Raiders covering the 10.5, and then over on the 57.5. The 5-4 South Alabama Jaguars versus the 7-2 Appalachian State Mountaineers. Appalachian State favored by 22.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 55. All right, that is going to wrap up NCAA College Football Week 11. Stay tuned to Robert Sports Show for the NFL Week 10, the CFL Week 15, and starting on Thursday, I get an NASCAR topic video, and then Friday will mark the 100-day countdown to the 2022 Daytona 500. The countdown shows the champion profile begin on Friday. As of plan is 2 videos a day, NASCAR-related topics, champion profile series, the countdown topics, etc. 2 videos a day for 100 days. That's 200 videos in 100 days, all NASCAR topics, celebrating 73 years of NASCAR history as we lead up to the 2022 Daytona 500 with the new next-gen car. If you're a NASCAR fan, please check that out. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.